Right, joining us on this week's Played for Both is former Tranmere Rovers midfielder Mike Jones. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, mate. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode.
No problem.
You made your debut for Tranmere in 2006, but you were at the club way before that, weren't you?
Yeah, God, mate. It seems a very long time ago now. It seems a different lifetime ago, literally. But yeah, obviously I was there from like School of Excellence. So I don't know, presume when I was about 12, 10, something like that, all the way with Warwick Rimmer. So yeah, seems a lifetime ago, mate. But good times, mate. Yeah, good times growing up.
And no better person than to get your football knowledge from than Warwick Rimmer.
Yeah, we had some top ones back then, mate. Warwick Rimmer, obviously Glyn Salmon. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah.
He was a top coach, John McMahon, when I was a bit older. So, but yeah, Warwick was the the heartbeat of the club, mate. So he was spot on and a big part of who I am today as a player and as a person, really.
Tranmere have down the years, they produced some fantastic youth players who've gone on to play for some big teams. As someone who's progressed through the youth system and you got yourself a great football league career out of it, Mike, what makes the Tranmere Rovers youth system special as it was?
It's so different back then from what we experienced to kind of what we see today, really, in terms of youth lads and what they have to do on a day-to-day basis, really. I think at Tranmere, what I saw and what it was like back then, it was tough, mate, to be honest. It was quite brutal. It was kind of, you certainly had to earn your way up the ladder, if you like. And you got put in your place if you were a bit out of line by the older lads, the experienced ones in there. So yeah, it was quite tough, mate. It was a harsh lesson that's probably stood a lot of lads in good stead for the future, and certainly myself. You learn a lot of things, and you learn a lot of respect in a lot of ways. So yeah, it was tough, mate. A little bit brutal, but yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Did any of the senior players come and have word from time to time? Because there were some big names there during your time at Tranmere.
Yeah. No, dude, spot on. Yeah, the likes of Ian Goodison and all that were there when I was there, and Ryan Taylor's and Gareth Robertson. But no, they were always spot on. Ian Sharp, you know what I mean? Proper experienced pros there at the time, but they're all good as gold. But obviously, if anyone stepped out of line or got a bit big time or whatever, they were certainly brought back down to earth pretty quickly. So it was a good way to be brought into the game, mate, to be honest. You
progressed through and you made your debut in 2006. So you went from, as you say, you went from being 10, 11 straight through to the first team. What a feeling that would have been for your debut for the club.
Yeah, mate, it was amazing. That's all I ever wanted to do was play for Tranmere. Growing up as a boy, we grew up from by Prenton Girls' School, so less than a mile up the road. And it was amazing, mate. And it was just such a shame that it was short-lived, if you like. It was probably only made a handful of appearances, I can't remember, but got a nice taste for it and loved it and wanted to, crack on, if you like, and progress with Tranmere. And unfortunately, it was kind of cut short and, I moved on quite quick.
So that season where you made the appearances for Tranmere, just looking at the squad list in terms of midfield, you had Jason McAteer, you had Paul McLaren, John Mullen, Kevin Ellison, Steve Jennings. So they're all good players to learn off.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a good squad there, a very good squad. And we're probably a little bit unfortunate not to probably be involved in the League One playoffs that year and or at least, go get promoted. Because I think I remember rightly, I started a game at home to Huddersfield. I think we went top that night. And I can't remember, I think it was Forest the next week away, and then I was on the bench and didn't get a kick, and we were doing well at that time, but we fell away a few years like that. We were up there early doors and fell away, and it was a bit of a shame, really. It would have been have been quite nice to get that kind of a promotion with Tranmere.
Ronnie Moore was the manager whilst you were playing at the club. How did you find him as a gaffer?
You know, what can I put it politely as I can? But I don't think Ronnie was a big fan of young lads maybe at the time. He was a little bit, maybe a bit old school, and it was hard as a young lad to get a look in, really. I always remember one quote he said about me. This is Tranmere Rovers, not Real Madrid. I always remember that being in one of the local papers. So, you know, as a kid, I was that kind of player who a little bit flary, and but maybe that just went for him. But you know, he's done wonders at Tranmere in the past, and he's done wonders at other clubs. So, you know, it is what it is. He just maybe didn't fit at the time, and that's football for you.
Do you think that them where the press maybe spared you on, gave you a bit of extra oomph in the games?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, any kind of setback I've had in life or in football is I've always bounced back stronger. It just makes you more willing to prove people wrong. And maybe he was right. Maybe he was right. Maybe I was a little bit, you know, needed a bit more physicality about my game and stuff. Maybe, and that's certainly what I've added over the years. So, you know, you've got to learn from the good and bad out of things. So, yeah.
We spoke to Alex Hay on Tuesday night, and I mentioned that you're going to come on the show, and he said actually during your time at Tranmere, he was very impressed from what he's seen. So it's nice to see that you had that effect on your fellow teammates as well.
That was very nice of him. Yeah, Alex was always a top lad, to be fair, and you know, a very good player. And he was one of the senior pros when I was growing up there. That, you know, you could rely on. You get a nice smile off, and he'd look after you if you're in any bother. Yeah.
Who was the best player that you played with at Tranmere?
In terms of, you know, there was some good flary players there at the time. You know, remember. But I think I always remember playing with Ryan Taylor. I played one pre-season game, and I think it was away to Vauxhall, and I think he was right back and I was right wing, and he could just he had some engine, you know. I remember when we used to do the Whittle Way on the first day of pre-season, he was miles ahead of everyone else. You know what I mean? But I remember him just saying to me, like, I remember like coming back, tracking back, and he was just like, you know, what you doing? Go get up there, get out my way. You know, you go and do your bit up there. And you don't get that off a lot of fullbacks. Trust me, I played on the wing for many years, and I played with a lot of fullbacks, and half of them want you going back towards your own goal. So I'd always remember that because he was just that confident, and that, you know, I didn't need to help him with his game, and I could go and crack on with my game and thereof. So yeah, Brian was a top player, and obviously, you know, he's gone on to have a top career at the very highest part of the game. So yeah, probably Ryan. Yeah.
You scored your first goal for Tranmere Rovers in what was your last appearance. Now, were you disappointed not to have stayed on after that? Because, you know, I used to watch himself. I used to sit in the cop, and the games that I seen, I thought you were decent. I thought you had a bit of a career at Rovers ahead of you. Were you disappointed not to play more games for Tranmere?
Yeah, bitterly disappointed. Yeah, and I always, it's one of the things that eats away at you. You know, there's certain things that you create that didn't work out, and that you'd be a bit disappointed with, and that was certainly one of them. Yeah, you know, like I said, as a kid, that's all I wanted to do, and I didn't do enough there. You know, I wanted at least a good crack of the whip, if you like, a good solid season under the manager who actually would have played me, you know, most weeks. And yeah, and unfortunately that didn't happen. So, but, you know, I had to move on quick. But I always thought I might end up back there to, you know, tried a couple of times in the past, but it just hasn't materialised under whatever managers have been there and stuff. So, which is a bit of a shame, because yeah, I would have always liked to go back there and play there and be a little bit more experienced. And obviously playing there to get, you know, for other teams has always been nice. But, you know, I'm a local lad from there. It always would have been nice to go back and play for them. Yeah.
Is that one of your big regrets, not coming back?
Yeah, it's not even not coming back. It's not playing as much in the first place when I was there. It's the way football works. I could have gone and played for Tranmere for 5-6 years. If it would have been different managers or. But that's just how it works. That's how football happens. That's how life works. You go on different paths. And but yeah, of course, I would have loved to play for Tranmere a lot more. Yeah.
You left Tranmere after scoring your first goal, and you joined Bury, where you were a lot more established. In it, what did that feel like to join a team and be one of the regular starters?
Well, that was it. That was just a complete different ball game. We had to go on trial there. Had to kind of start again, if you like. And it was actually Alan Neil and Chris Wilder at the time, and to go on and see what they've done. And he took his chance on me, and he liked me, and he allowed me that kind of freedom where I'd probably been a bit held back in previous years at Tranmere, and I could be the player I wanted to be again. And obviously, I thrived on it. Played the whole 46 games that first season. So, and then had a cracking 3.5 years there. We got promoted, and obviously ended up getting me moved to Wednesday. So Bury was probably still to this day my best part of my career, really. Yeah.
You mentioned there that you were at Bury when Chris Wilder was the manager. Obviously, he's gone on to manage Sheffield United now. And did you always think he had what it took to be a manager at the highest level? What do you think he was like as a manager?
Well, strangely enough, he weren't the manager. He was assistant to Alan Hill at Bury, so he weren't actually the manager. So for me at first, hearing about when they went on, and obviously Chris was the manager. For me, it seemed a bit strange, but for most people, that's all they've ever seen. But two cracking guys, yeah. Alan Hill, was brilliant with me. He great guy, and he ended up getting a move and going to manage Scunthorpe, and it didn't work out. And obviously him and Chris crossed paths again and joined the other way around. But they were good, mate. They were really good, really good. And it's no surprise they've gone on to do what they've done.
Fair to say, you had a fantastic spell at Bury, accumulating a lot of games, over 150 in total, I think it was. That resulted in a move to Sheff Wednesday, a huge move to Sheff Wednesday. Yeah. Now, they came in, they spent money on taking you to the club. You must have thought, this is it. I'm excited. Well, what a massive move.
Yeah. Just, I remember them that day, and it was just, it just felt like you'd finally got your rewards for all your hard work. You know what I mean? You sign there, you do the paperwork, and you just look around and you're like, wow. Tranmere is no small club, far from it. But obviously then going from Bury to Wednesday is a big jump. So obviously I was buzzing. But unfortunately didn't work out as well as I would have liked. But just to even play for that football club and experience some games was memories that I won't ever forget. So
you had to say you signed a longest contract. You were there for only 6 months, I think it was. But as I say, to even have Sheff Wednesday on your CV, that's just testament to the kind of player and the career that you've had.
Yeah. Without I earned my move. You know what I mean? I did 3.5 years at Bury. I did 3.5 years in League Two, and we finally went up to League One, and just had just a great time there, and obviously just living life as a young lad and grafting with a good set of lads and great team spirit we had there, and and then they come in for me, and I just couldn't turn it down. Obviously, you just wouldn't turn it down, would you, from Bury to Sheff Wed? So, it felt good. It felt good. Felt like you've got what you deserve, and it was time to really push on. But again, just football. Just things happen sometimes, and other times they don't. It's just sometimes it's out of control. Sometimes you could have done a bit more. was what it was.
But even so, it's still a great accomplishment to play at Hillsborough. You then went on to sign for this week's opponents, Crawley Town. Was that an easy choice to go and sign for Crawley?
No, well, at the time it was, and with the Tranmere thing, it's probably one of my other biggest regrets in football, really. Being so keen to sign for Crawley was probably a big mistake, if I'm honest. We got promoted with Wednesday up to the Championship, and I remember the first game of season, Derby away, and I weren't in the squad. And I remember just fuming and, just kicking off to my age. I want out. I'm not sitting on a bench. I don't care if it's in the Championship. And I've always been about like that in my career. And but sometimes you don't end up better off. I wanted to play. Didn't matter who for or what level. And obviously Richie Barker, my old manager at Berry, come in for me at Crawley, and straight away I was just like, I want to go. And really, I should have, looking back, potentially should have just gone on loan there and kept that door open with Wednesday, where, looking back, there was other players who were probably in a worse position than me and end up starting week in, week out in the Championships, which still always grits away at me to this day. But it is what it is, again, and it happened. I forced my way out. I went down there, and it was a big shock, because you go from one of the biggest clubs in the country to probably one of the smallest. So, but it was a bit of a test of living London life and stuff, and another life experience. But yeah.
You seem disappointed when you mentioned that, to be fair, Mike. You seem like you could have stayed there longer.
Well, 100%, yeah, I should have. There's no. I should have stayed there, got my head down, backed myself for a bit longer, and I have no doubt probably, I would have got some games for them, in the Championship. And obviously in my career, I've never played in the Championship, so that is a little bit of a sore point. That was my chance, and I kind of let it slip too quickly. But that's hindsight in it, and that's football.
You mentioned the move to Crawley, a move to a part of the country where you've not lived before. What was that like to adapt to a different part of the country?
Yeah, a bit of a shock, but luckily we had a good set of lads there, and we had quite a few lads from up north, to be fair. So it kind of just felt like playing up north, but you were down south. So it was all right. It was okay. But it was what it was. First year I struggled a little bit, and the second year I come good. But yeah, it was okay, but it was probably always a bit of a downer coming from Wednesday, and no disrespect to Crawley, but they just know it, not on the same kind of size anywhere near, are they, as like Wednesday. So it was always a bit disappointing, obviously. And then you start seeing who's playing, and you're looking at Wednesday's lineup every week, and you're thinking, oh, that could have been me, that. But we had a good little crack. We nearly got in the playoffs a couple of years, but just fell short. So yeah.
John Gregory was your boss for the time at Crawley, the ex-Villa and Derby County boss, and I know he held you in quite high esteem as a player. What was he like as a manager? Top man,
yeah. Really nice fella, passionate, and it was a bit of an honour to have someone like that. We when he come in the building, we couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? He weren't even anywhere near the betting. It's just a name you didn't even think of. All of a sudden, John Gregory walks into like a League One club that, he's managed in the Prem, he's done this and that, and you just think, Jesus, this guy's just, and he was good. Yeah, he was good. It was an enjoyable time playing for him, to be honest. And it was sad when I moved on, and the club was just going in whatever direction. I couldn't justify staying down there for what was offered. So yeah, but he was a cracking fella, yeah.
So your time at Crawley, you don't seem overly pleased. Is that fair to say? You feel like you could have achieved more, done more?
Yeah. I think it was, like I just said, I think it was just coming from Wednesday, and like it was always on like that come down. Do you know what I mean? And it probably took quite a bit of time to get over that, and it was
Bit of a
just
hangover.
yeah, probably, and then we just, we huffed and puffed at the playoffs both seasons I was there, and fell short both times. So we kind of always just found ourselves in that comfortable zone in mid-table, and it was, you look back on it and think, what did I do then? And you're like, we're never anywhere near relegation, never near really getting promoted. And it was just like, oh, that was 2 years of my career just kind of passed by a bit, which is a shame to say, because there was some good people there, and it's a decent little run club. But yeah, it was an experience anyway.
And you end up signing for, as an ex-Tranmere boy, you'd end up signing for Oldham. Why? What are you doing that for?
It got me back up north, mate. That was it. No, that was it. Got me back up the M6. But yeah, Lee Johnson come in for me there, and he's obviously turned out to be a very good manager as well. So went up there, started, enjoying my football again a bit more, and being back home and back in your bit natural surroundings a bit. And it was good. 2 good years there. 2 good years, yeah.
Did you enjoy yourself more because you were back up north, simply like close to your family?
No, I wouldn't say. Obviously, that helped, yeah. Without a doubt, yeah. But it was just things clicked into place a bit more. You just played better, maybe, and you get that bit of more loving off the fans and stuff, and you just felt like you're back in a place, like Betty. You know what I mean? You feel back in a place where you kind of playing every week, enjoying it. You kind of a good buzz. Like you said, yeah, being back at home probably helped as well. And yeah, we had a couple of good years there. Again, fell short a bit again, but yeah, it was good. It was a good club, Oldham. Some good people there, and good fans and that. So yeah, I can't argue my time there.
Regular football at Oldham, and then a lot of regular football at Carlisle United, who were doing well this season in this division.
Yeah.
And you now find yourself playing at Barrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I left Carlisle to be closer to Sheffield and end up signing for Barrow. So bit crazy how that worked out. But obviously we train in Manchester and stuff, and obviously David done a work with before at Oldham, and the minute he come in, it was a no-brainer to play for him again. Really, just the stature of person he is, and how much I enjoyed playing for him at Oldham was. So yeah, it was a no-brainer really.
I'm playing with an ex-Rovers player in Ollie Banks as well.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got to play with Ollie yet, because obviously I'm out injured and Ollie's just come in. So that would have been nice, because I've played against Ollie a few times in the past, and it's always been a tough game against him. He's a very good player, so it's a shame I couldn't have got in the middle with him this season at some point. But he's doing well for us at the minute.
You moved to Barrow. It's been a bit turbulent, it's fair to say, that this season, the change of manager after only 5-6 games as well the other week. It's not looking good.
Yeah. No. I think you're trying to put it mildly there, as mildly as you can, aren't you? But no, it's not looking good, mate. But Rob's in charge at the minute, and he's a very passionate guy, and he's there's one thing you'll get now off Rob and the lads is everything they've got, and everyone at the club's certainly trying the best to get out the position we're in. We are where we are, and there's no hiding that within a proper relegation battle, and hopefully the lads can pull through.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's a nice club, Barrow. Been there a few times with Tranmere down the years. There's a cracking chippy around the corner as well, so it's a nice place.
always a bonus.
Oh yeah, always a bonus for an away day. Just still keep an eye on the Tranmere scores, Mike.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you'd always look back at teams you played for, but of course, Tranmere is what it is. It's where it grew up, to where it first played. It'll always have that place in your heart that you look, check the results, and if I'm ever back home, my mum's or something, I'd go to the games and just feel that buzz again. That it's quite magical, isn't it, when you're a kid and you're growing up somewhere, and that club will always be something more different than any of the others. You know what I mean? Because that's home. As long as I lived in Manchester for many years, but the Tranmere was always home. Yeah, and it's just a shame didn't get to play there longer, but is what it is. Yeah.
You mentioned Lee Johnson earlier on. Of course, he's up at Sunderland now, and Sunderland are, of course, Tranmere's opponents at Wembley next Sunday in the in the cup final too. So a little bit mix and match. But who you want to win?
It should be a good game. That, to be fair, obviously, keeps flying with views at the minute, and Sunderland are flying. A couple lads there. Obviously, you got Charlie White banging them in. It was at Carlisle, so you need to keep an eye on him because he's on fire at the minute. But you are yourselves, so should be a good game. That. But Lee Johnson was a good manager. Yeah. He was always very tactically switched up. He was a very young, bright manager who had many ideas, and obviously he's gone on to do well at Bristol and now at Sunderland. So be a good match, that. Yeah, I'll look forward to watching that one. But I'll probably side with Tranmere. Yeah, but good game. It'll be a good game.
Good man, Mike. Obviously, you got hopefully a good few more years left as a player. Are there any ambitions to stay in football after you finish playing? Maybe even thought that far ahead, yes.
Yeah, no, I still feel until this Achilles injury, I felt fit as I ever had. So it really has been a bit annoying, this Achilles injury this year, and I do feel like I've got a good few years left in me still. Yeah. Afterwards, I don't know. Football, maybe not. I would like to probably move away from the game, but you don't realise when you're in the game this long that you see ups and downs, but you probably see a lot of put it quite stuff that you don't want to see, and sometimes you just crave that other side of life a bit more and away from the game. But we'll see. Still a few years left, and we'll see what things bring. But hopefully a good few years left in the game still. Yeah, playing.
And hopefully we'll see you playing against Rovers very soon at Prenton Park.
Yeah, Mike, that'd be nice.
It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for joining us.
No, you're welcome, mate. No problem at all. No problem.